Hi, I'm Rebecca Vran, and today's recipe is a family weeknight dinner. It's buttered chicken with vegetables and lots of potatoes. This dish takes under 30 minutes and will feed a family. And the exciting thing about this is your chicken is air fried, so it's healthier. And while the air fryer is cooking your chicken, the rest of the ingredients are being roasted in the bottom pan. And we'll have a creamy, delicious sauce. This video is sponsored by Galanz, who makes this multi-cooker. This is the first time in all of history you could air fry and roast at the same time. I reached out to Galanz once I saw that this could happen, and they agreed to sponsor the video. Yay! The ingredients for this recipe are boneless, skinless chicken thighs, but you could have used chicken breasts, whatever you like. I'm using about 2 pounds of the thighs because I have a whole family to feed. And these are the vegetables I'm using. Roasted red potatoes, that's going to make up the base. I'm using broccoli, carrots, a little onion, and a little bit of pepper with some mushrooms. Feel free to use the vegetables your family likes in this dish. Any of them will do. And the other ingredients are breadcrumbs and flour. That's because I want that chicken to have a crispness to it. Also salt, butter, because it's buttered chicken, and heavy whipping cream. But you could substitute milk if you wanted to. To get a jump on things, you gotta preheat your Galanz multi-cooker. So plug her in, and on she goes. I'm pressing air fry, and I'm pressing start. That's gonna preheat. When you first start your air fryer, it will preheat it. So you see the PRE on the display. That'll take about 4 minutes to preheat. And when it's preheated, it's gonna tell you to add your food. And let's get our chicken ready. I've gotta melt the butter. So it's going in the microwave. For 1 minute, I'm putting half a cup of flour on a plate, another half a cup of breadcrumbs. Those are plain, and flatten them out with 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to sprinkle that through and mix it up just a little bit. That way, that's all pre-seasoned. Get your butter. And the butter's done. And into the butter, I'm putting another teaspoon of salt. And mix it around. I've got this little brush here. So take one of your chicken breasts and just brush it with the butter on both sides. You're going to get messy with this recipe. Into the flour and into the breadcrumbs, just like that. And that's going to rest on a plate while we do the rest of them, just like that. It's so easy. Nothing needs to be perfect, but you got to get your dunk in on both the breadcrumbs and that flour for a good crunch. There's always a challenge making a weeknight dinner for your family. This is a really inexpensive dinner. I got these on sale. They were under $1 a pound. That was amazing. That's when I put them in the freezer in my household, because that's what I want to use. I can thaw those out in the microwave, and then I have a dinner in a jiffy with this Galanz multi-cooker. Speed is key when you're busy and raising your kids. Everybody's busy. There's all those after school things they're doing and a schedule to meet and a work job you might have yourself. How are you gonna get it all done? That's why you need the best in kitchen technology, because it makes things so much easier for you in your life. Okay, these are about done. One more left. And into the breadcrumbs. And that part is done. There's your chicken. And now it's time to get our vegetables prepped. I've washed these red roasted potatoes, and the thing about them I like is you don't need to peel them because the peelings are very tender and it gives you some roughage. So it's a really healthy ingredient. And so a trick when you're using a dense vegetable like a potato, and things like broccoli are not as dense, nor are your mushrooms. To cook them fast, you need to cut them up in littler pieces. So that's what I'm doing here. These are all my potatoes, and now I'm going to add them to my Galanz multi-cooker. So now I'm going to add, ooh, look at that, about half the butter into the bottom of the multi-cooker. I am taking the brush and I'm swirling it around, and you can see that sizzle. And now you just put your potatoes into your multi-cooker. And I'm going to brush them with some more butter as I stir them around because I want them moist with that butter. And back goes the lid. And to start it up again, I need to press air fryer and start. It's going to preset it back to 25 minutes. I had gotten it hot inside, so now we just continue on with the cooking process. That's an easy way to use the Galanz air fryer for this recipe. It has all kinds of presets, but this is a way to make this recipe. Just simple, just touch the button on and off. That's just my trick with the Galanz air fryer for this recipe. To cook a meal fast, what you want to do is to start cooking your most dense vegetables. That's why I started with the potatoes, but here come the carrots in small little pieces. I'm using 2 carrots today. They're just the heartiest vegetable. They're so inexpensive and they're so full of nutrition. I love carrots, especially roasted with the chicken and the potatoes. Next comes the onion. This is about half an onion. The onion is going to give this potato such great flavor. I could have used more, but here we go. And we're going to slice them kind of thin too. Because the carrots and the onions are the next dense ingredients, they go in next. So off goes the lid. And in they go. And just the same, I'm going to toss them with a little bit of the butter. And don't be shy. Look at that. I can already see the potatoes are getting a little bit cooked. This is working well. Back on goes the lid. It's telling me I didn't put the lid on right. It knows. Okay, let's check my lid. That's one of the safety features it has. That's a great feature. Now we're rocking and rolling. I'm not turning it on and off again because it knows that you just paused it to add the next ingredient or to check it, so it's going to continue to cook. The first time I did because I wanted to get back to 25 minutes. The mushrooms, the broccoli, and the red pepper are the least dense of all the ingredients. So I'm just going to chop them up next. They just aren't going to take as long as your potatoes to cook. And the red pepper, it doesn't matter if it's in little pieces and that's overcooked. It's going to have that flavor. So I have to cut it in little tiny pieces because I think it makes the dish just look prettier that way. And these mushrooms, I bought the small ones because they were in bulk. I could pick them out, but some of them still are a little bit bigger. I usually don't really like to spend a lot of time cutting, but oh well. Some of these I think are just going to be small enough like this guy. I don't have to cut him. All in all, that's half a pound of mushrooms, that's half a big red pepper, and that's, oh, I don't know, maybe a cup of broccoli. You can add more or less. And the potatoes have been cooking about 10 minutes. That was our first ingredient. And so now I'm going to put the rest of them in. We can see the onions are cooking. They're dehydrating. Those potatoes too. So in go the rest of our vegetables at this point. Give them a stir. And close her up. The Galanz multi-cooker comes with a basket. Let me explain the beauty of this basket, especially for a huge dish like this. The basket is going to sit there in the potatoes. So you got to put the chicken in the basket. Now this basket's going to fill up quite quickly, so I'm kind of folding these little things in on themselves because I'm cooking for a big family. And this multi-cooker can do the job. Okay, arrange them so you get as much skin showing, because that's where you want all the crispiness. Not every little part has to be super crispy, but enough that it browns and gets the flavor. So you know the routine. Off goes the top, and chicken in the basket goes in. So we're going to nestle her in, right like that. And brush your little hen with the rest of that butter. After all, the recipe is called butter chicken with vegetables and potatoes. But the butter is going to add a little more crispiness. Drizzle, 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 drool. Time for us to be in cooking school. Done. So now, back on goes the lid. Taking a look, I did it right. There's no warning signal. It's showing 13 minutes on the clock. Fine with me. I'm going to take another look after 13 minutes and see if that chicken looks done, because that's the last factor. This Galanz multifunction air fryer, grill, and roaster came right to my door. The box was amazing. And on every side of the box, not only is it attractive, but it has information and features. That was very impressive to me. The front of my box said it all: healthier, tastier, easier, ultimate cooking versatility. I opened the box and inside it was packed really well, so there wouldn't be any damage during shipping. And the accessories included the grill rack, the sous vide cooker, which I love sous vide recipes, the clear glass lid, really sturdy, made of tempered glass so it's not going to shatter. And it came with the pot, which is what I'm using right now. The cooking pot is a very heavy-duty pot with a non-stick surface. And also the air fry basket, and you saw me put my chicken in that. The main body has great side handles, which are really strong and durable, and again, they don't transfer heat, so they're always cool. And the control panel has a time and temperature knob, that's the knob on the left, and many settings, and some of them are preset timers. And the display is all LED and it lights up, easy to read. There's a setting for grill, slow cook, roast, sous vide, steam, rice, saute, and warm, and these are all smart programs. And to use the smart programs, it's very simple. And I love the booklets it came with. It makes it really easy to understand. And you know, the air frying is one of my favorite ways to cook food because it crisps it up and cooks it very quickly. And I'm always in a time crunch. I am just fascinated by this Galanz multi-cooker. With the grill preset, you can even grill food. And with this grill rack, you get the lines like it's professionally done in a restaurant. That's ingenious. You can make chilies or things like beans and stews with that slow cook smart program. It has a roast function, and if you want to roast a chicken instead of air frying it, go right ahead, or roast some beef. It's one of the smart programs. The sous vide is really innovative, and I'm so excited to have this because I believe that sous vide is one of the very best ways to get a cheap steak tender. It has a steam function to steam vegetables and a rice function so you can cook perfect rice every time. And it has a saute function to get things brown before you cook them otherwise. That's smart. Oh, I think our recipe is done. It's time to check. And off she goes. Oh yeah, we're getting the browning that I'm looking for. But I'd like it more brown. I'm putting her in for another 3 minutes. So I'm going to start her up again, air fry, and I'm turning the dial to get to 400 degrees because I just want some color there. And I'm going to start. And I think we're done, chum. Look at that. Look how pretty that chicken is. That has got the crispy brown on top. And out goes the air fry basket. And look at the potatoes and vegetables. Oh, that looks so good. And now I'm adding 1/2 cup of cream. Oh yeah, move that around, stir it up, and put the chicken back in. I like to use the same pot I cooked in to serve my family. It just saves me time and trouble. They're going to love to see all of this to pick out what they like to eat. You might have a young'un that avoids your broccoli, but they're going to go for this crispy chicken on top. Doesn't that look great? And another trick with this dish is hitting the saute button. And let me show you why. Start. I keep it on the saute so it's hot when I serve everybody. And in no time flat, it's going to boil. And what happens is it's going to pick up that extra flour and those extra breadcrumbs, and that is going to thicken your sauce. So poke it around a little bit and let the bottoms of that chicken get into the cream and all the juices of your chicken. This is really a magic dish. It turns out so easy every time. And look at how simple this is. This Galanz multi-cooker is an amazing cooking appliance. It does everything. It only took 2 minutes to get to the full boil. Look at that sauce. Doesn't everybody want that rich sauce on top of their chicken? And it smells so good. The whole house smells great. And the cleanup is easy. You can just pop it in the dishwasher or wash it by hand. And only in 5 minutes you're done, so turn it off because you don't want it to overcook. Let's serve it. This is a super healthy, quick dinner for your whole family. I do like the broccoli and those great carrots. Extra potatoes, please. But what I really want is that creamy sauce. And extra. And this scoop has a couple mushrooms. And just a little more. Right on top. with a mushroom. It's time for the bite. Oh, that chicken is so tender and crispy on top, perfectly cooked down the center. But for me, a little more sauce. Oh, wow. That is amazing. That salt in there, don't give me a ticket. This whole thing is perfectly seasoned. And I just use salt. If you have a spice blend, have at it. Let me know your favorite in the comments. But I'm telling you, this is a great, easy, fast dinner. Time for the spud. Soft and tender. It all came out at the same time. And carrot. It's good for the eyes. Tender and soft, delicious. And the baby mushroom with a little more sauce. Because don't we all just want to do that? Don't we just want to swim in the sauce? Click the link below and get your Galanz multi-cooker. It's the most amazing kitchen appliance I've seen yet. I love it. I'm Rebecca Brand. Subscribe to my channel, ring the bell to get notified of my next video, and let's keep making great recipes in life. And today's recipe is a super fast, a most amazing butter chicken with vegetables and potatoes recipe. See you next time. I'm going to take a little union break and have my lunch, as the case may be. Perfect for winter. Yum. I like the onions too. If you like this video, I have a lot more hearty recipes over there. Just click.